Hello friends, I am Saurodip. So today in this Linux series, we are going to see the file operations. So let's dive into it. So by the end of today, you will know how to create files and folders and how to copy, move and delete them. But before going into the commands, let's see for which action we need what Linux command. To create a file, the command is touch. To create folder, that is mkdir, that is make directory. For copy, we will use cp as command. For move or rename, we will use mv. mv will be used for both to move a file from one place to another or to rename. And for delete, we will use rm command. So let's see the different commands. So the first command is touch. So touch command is used to create an empty file. It can be anything, if any extension. It can be JavaScript, Python, text file, anything. So today I will show you this in both Windows system and as well as in Docker desktop. First, let's see in the Windows. So here I am in a new folder, Linux. Here we will do those things. Open the git bash. Let me zoom a little bit. Now here we will see. So first we will create a JavaScript file. Let's say a.js. See, we have created a a.js file, that is a JavaScript extension. Let's create a Python file. See, we have created a Python file. And let's create a text file. See, we have created a text file. So with the touch command, we can create different files. And as a DevOps use case, you can use this command to create configuration files, to create log file manually. The next command is mkdir. So this command is used to create directory. So for example, mkdir project. Let's see. So for here, we will try to create one folder or directory. Let's say, let's name it project. So we'll use mkdir project. See, a project directory or folder has been created. So at first it will be blank, right? But the folder is created. Now in this mkdir, we can use an option that is p. So what is this p? So it's because we will use this -p option to create parent folders if not exist. Let's say we wanted to create a folder src under backend folder, but if we directly try to create that folder using mkdir, it will give us an error. Let's see. Let's say I am going to write mkdir backend -src, but see, it's giving me error because it's not able to find any backend folder, right? So backend is the parent folder. Since the parent folder is not available, that's why it's not able to create the source folder inside the backend folder. To create the parent folder along with the child folder, we will use the -p option. So the -p will create the parent folder if it doesn't exist. So now if we write mkdir -p backend -src, now see, first it will check if that parent folder is available or not. If the parent folder is not available, it will first create the parent folder. Then it will create the child folder or directory. See, now the src folder or directory has been created. The next command is cp. So cp command is used to copy files. So here, if we wanted to copy the content or copy on file, let's say, let us open this c.txt. Here write something, hello world. Let's save it. Now I wanted to copy this file, okay, into another file. So first let me clear this. So what we will use? We will use cp c.txt, and what will be the file? Let's say d.txt. Enter. See, we have created d.txt, but it's a copy of c.txt. See, we are seeing the same hello world written in the d.txt. So using this command, we can copy files. Using the cp command, we can copy folder also. But a folder can contain multiple subfolders, right? For example, let's say this backend folder. If we wanted to copy this backend folder, then I need this src folder or any other folders that are present in this backend folder, right? So for that, we need an option that is -r, that is for recursive. So recursively, it will copy every child folder of the parent folder, and this is required for directories. Let's see. Let's try to copy this backend folder. So what we will do first, cp backend to, let's say, backend 2. If you press enter, see, it's giving me error. It's telling -r not specified. So for directory, this -r is mandatory option. So what we need to do, we need to give cp -r. Now see, this backend 2 directory has been created, but it's also containing the source folder also. So -r is used for recursively. If a parent folder contains any subfolders or directory, it will copy everything from there. And -r means recursively it will try to copy 1 to n nested level. Now the next command is mv. So mv command, as we have seen earlier, it is used to move or rename. Both we can do with this mv command. So to rename a file, we'll use mv, the target file, which file we wanted to rename, and the new file name, the renamed file, sorry. And then if we wanted to move a file, then we need to first give the file name and the folder, in which folder we wanted to move. Okay, let's see. So first rename. Let's try to rename this d.txt file to d-2txt. So for that, what we will do, mv, then which file we wanted to rename, d.txt, and what will be the rename name, that is d-2.txt. See, the file has been renamed to d-2. Now if we wanted to move a file into some particular folder, let's say I wanted to move this d-2 under this project folder, then what we will do, then we will use mv, then the file name, that is d-2, and then the folder name. Then we can use project. See, it moved the file to the project folder. Next is the rm. Rm is remove or delete files or folder. So here, how we can do this? Let's go back to our Linux directory. Here, suppose we wanted to delete this Python file, that is b.py file. So what we will do, let's clear this first. So we will use rm b.py. See, it has removed the b.py. But have you seen one thing? It doesn't ask for any confirmation. So if you want to, it will ask for confirmation. Then what you need to do? You need to write rm-i. I means for interactivity. Okay. So let's say I wanted to delete this a.js file. Let's say a.js. So see, it's asking, do you wanted to remove this file? Just you need to write y. Then it will remove that file. Now, if you wanted to remove every files or folders or subfolders from a directory, then we'll use another flag, that is -r and f. So what is that -r and f means? -r means recursive. So as previously we have seen, recursive means it will delete everything, every subfolder. If that subfolder is containing another subfolder, it will delete everything recursively. And force means it will not ask for any confirmation. It will directly. So it's like in Windows we use shift and delete, right? It will directly delete those things. So let's say in this backend.2 we have this source folder, right? So we wanted to delete everything. So if we write rm first backend2, if I hit enter, so see, it's telling cannot remove this directory because it's containing some subfolder, right? So we'll use rm -r f. So now see, it has deleted everything along with the subdirectories also. So this minus rf command is used to delete directories along with subdirectories, and it will not ask for any confirmation. So guys, as a DevOps tips, you will use this command to remove the node modules. For the node modules, we used to write rm minus rf node modules. So because in node modules, it contains many files and many submodules. So it will delete everything from there. But another thing, let me tell you, this is a dangerous command also. Since it's not asking for any confirmation, you need to be very cautious that you don't delete any important file. So since you have seen these commands, let's go into some practice problems. So these are the task friends you can try to do on your own, but I will also try to do this in the Docker desktop so that you can understand how this will work in the Docker desktop also. But before that, I will suggest you to do it on your own, then look into the solutions. So what are the tasks? First, let's open the Docker desktop. So here is the Docker desktop. We will run this Ubuntu, right? So let's go to the container and let's run this. Let's go into this container. Let's go to executable. So let's see one by one. So what is the first task? Create workspace Linux Prac. So to create a workspace, what we need to do? We need to create a folder, right? So that is mkdir. So here we will write mkdir Linux Prac. So it has created a Linux Prac. If you wanted to check, just write ls. See here, this Linux Prac directory has been created. Next, we need to create the files a.txt and b.txt. Now we need to create those a.txt and b.txt. So we will go inside this Linux Prac. Now we are under this Linux Prac. First, let's do ls. See, we have nothing. Let's do touch a.txt and b.txt. Now the file has been created. Just write ls. See, a.txt and b.txt has been created. You can also see this visually. You can go to the files. See, there is a Linux Prac folder created. Under that, we have a.txt and b.txt. Next task is copy file. Copy the a.txt to c.txt. So let's go to executable. So for the copy, what we need to do? We need to do copy cp a.txt to c.txt. So now it has copied. See, we have copied the a.txt to c.txt. If any content is there in the a.txt, it will be automatically copied to c.txt also. Next, we need to create a backend structure. So it's like a production structure we will try to create. So first is we need to create a folder project. Under that, there will be a backend folder or directory. Under that, there will be source directory. And same like that, we will also create a logs directory under the backend. So let's do this. Let's create this. So mkdir to create a directory. Since we wanted to create the source directory and logs directory under a parent directory, so we have to use the -p option. Then project backend, then src. See, this project has been created under this Linux Prac. See, this is a folder that we have created. Under that, there is a backend folder directory. Under that, the src directory. It has been created. Like the same way, we can create the logs folder. So what we will need to do, that is mkdir -p project / backend / logs. If you write ls, see, there is a project folder, but if you wanted to see, you can see under the backend there is logs folder and src folder. Next, we need to create a file main.py under the src folder, and then app.log under the logs folder. So we'll do touch project backend, then source, then the file name, that is main.py. So it has created the main.py under the src folder. Same way, let's create the log file, that is touch project backend logs, then app.log. Let's go to the files. See, under the source we have this main.py file, and under the logs we have the app.log file. Now, as a last task, you need to copy the content of app.log to a new backup file named app.log.back. So that means a backup file. So this is like a production way. We always try to create our backup file, right? So what we need to do, since we need to copy the content of app.log to app.log.backup file, so we need to use cp command. So now we will try to copy the app.log to the app.log.backup file. So here we will write cp project /backend /logs /app.log. This file we wanted to copy to a backup file, right? In the same location I wanted to copy, since it's also a backup file. So I will write project /backend /logs /app.log.back. See, if you go to files, in the logs we have copied the app.log to app.log.backup file. So what we just did, we created a project structure, we created log file, and we also created a backup file. This is the real environment of a backend or a server behavior. So here are the common mistakes. So forgetting -r in the copy, like if you wanted to copy a whole folder or directory, forgetting -r, it will not copy. Using rm -rf blindly, so don't use this command blindly. Use it if you know that you wanted to delete it, otherwise it will delete your important files or folders. And confusing between copy and move, so just be focused what you wanted to do. You wanted to copy or you wanted to move the whole file or folders to another place. So here are some interview questions. 1. Difference between cp and mv. What does mkdir-p will do? Why is rm-rf dangerous? How do you copy a directory? And how do you rename a file in Linux? So that's it, friend. I hope you have understood how this file operation will work. Thank you. Happy learning.